The mother of the Minneapolis school shooter is refusing to cooperate with police, and she is already lawyered up with a criminal defense attorney. That is almost unheard of, y'all. In fact, there are only 2 cases that I'm aware of where parents have refused to work with investigators after their child carried out a school shooting. One is Oxford, Michigan, and now Minneapolis. And I want you to think about that because there have been over 400 school shootings since Columbine, and parents have almost always talked to police because usually they're in shock, they're grieving, and they want the same answers that the rest of us do. But here, in this situation, Mary Grace Westman, the mother of the shooter, a woman who worked at the very school her child targeted, has stayed silent. And not just silent, she's retained a high-profile criminal defense attorney named Ryan Gary. And according to Minneapolis police, she has not returned their calls, not sat down for an interview, and not said a single word. Now, according to her attorney, his client is completely distraught about the situation, has no culpability, but is seeking an attorney to deal with calls like this. And while it's important to note that parents of shooters are victims too, their lives are destroyed as well, and no one wants to imagine raising a child who could be capable of committing such a horrific atrocity. But when parents refuse to cooperate, it does raise hard questions. What did they know beforehand? Were there warning signs at home? And why aren't they helping investigators piece together the timeline? Because remember, investigators have already served 4 search warrants. They've seized hundreds of pieces of evidence, including electronic devices, a manifesto, videos, even scrawled horrific messages on the firearm magazines. This case has layers of ideology, mental health, and gender identity struggles. All of it needs to be understood to determine what happened. And yet, the one person who could maybe help fill in some of those blanks, the shooter's own mother, isn't talking. That silence doesn't just frustrate police, it deepens the pain of a community that just buried 2 children and is praying for nearly 20 others who were wounded inside a church during a mass shooting. This is more than just another tragic headline, y'all. It is a reminder of how broken the system is, how families get destroyed on every side of these shootings, and how, even in the aftermath, there are still barriers to finding the truth. I want you to drop your thoughts in the comments as to why you think she's staying silent, and of course, hit that follow button so that you can stay updated.